Okay, let me just make sure we are live. I think we are. Okay, good morning. This is Nicole Whitlock with eCom Sellers, and this is the daily eCom planning session. So today's topic is time management tips. And we're going to talk about time management techniques tomorrow, but time management tips to help you to regain control over your time. My name is Nicole, and my passion is helping people on their e-commerce journey, helping them to get organized, get focused, get consistent in their business. And if that's you, I'm here for you. You'll be given the opportunity to schedule a free 20-minute coaching session. But let's get into today's topic. So before we take a deep dive into this topic, I do and want you to know we're live on Clubhouse. We're also live in the e-commerce planning Facebook group. And I do want you to go ahead and download the daily e-com planning checklist. You can go over to the e-commerce planning Facebook group, click on the menu for files, and then you can download the daily, weekly, or monthly e-com planning checklist. That way you'll be able to follow along after we go through the time management tips. So these are time management tips for sellers, just e-commerce, business owners, solopreneurs. Just some tips maybe to help you regain control of your time or to better manage your time. And then we're going to talk about techniques in our next session. But in today's session, a couple of things that may help you on this journey. If you are just challenged with staying on top of your time and where your time is being spent or how long it's taking you to do something, then here's some things that you might do. So the first one, you might get up a little bit earlier. Sometimes just getting up an extra 30 minutes earlier, an hour earlier, or staying up an extra 30 minutes later, not an hour, but just maybe 30 minutes, can help you to get more things done and or help you to get that dedicated time that sometimes you need to get things done. So you might consider that. It may mean that you have to adjust your nighttime routine and get that going because of the fact that you need to get up a little bit earlier so you can regain your time and get more stuff done. Number two is use technology. Using technology can actually help you to make progress on different things. If it's a major project or something that you're doing differently in your business or in your personal life, I mean, sometimes you can use some of this stuff for your personal life as well. Just depends on what you're working on or what you want to change, improve, whatever. But project management software can help you. Online to-do list or tasks so you can check things off can help you. I love using Google Tasks. I love using Google Calendars. I just Google because one, it's free, but two, because again, you can see a visual representation online of the things that you need to get done and the things that you've completed, so that you can, better manage what are the tasks that are important today that need to get done. Using digital planners or calendars, setting reminders, setting alarms on your phone. I do have lots of alarms. Whenever I need to meet with my VAs, I have alarms that go off that remind me, hey, you're about to meet with the VA. Because sometimes you're engrossed in an activity and you just are not paying attention and time gets away from you. So I do set alarms. I also set reminders for things that are coming up, things that need to get done. Like if I need to order some specific inventory, I have reminders on my Google Calendar that pop up for the day. And I'll do that in advance. So, if I'm ordering inventory for the spring, which you normally would do in the winter, then, I set reminders to start ordering my winter inventory, the stuff that I sell over and over again. And like I said, task trackers, whatever works for you. In addition to that, we'll talk about uh, focusing. So we'll talk about that in just a second. So delegating tasks, handing a task over to a VA or, some other source to do the task or aspects of the task for you. That could include like software. Again, you can use software for repricers. You can use software to help you with creating your listings. That can help. And so you're delegating the task to software to solve some of your problems so you can buy back some of your time. or, delegating it to outsource to a prep center or fulfillment center, again, buying back some of your time. But in addition to that, delegating it to a VA, hiring a virtual assistant or hiring someone local, hiring a teenager to come and help you with some of your shipments, or hiring somebody to help do some of your shopping. If you are doing retail or online arbitrage, like those types of tasks, you can delegate to someone else or some other place or method, to help you with your graphics. You can hire a service, all types of things, so that way you buy back your time if you feel like this is something that's taking you a long time to get done. Number 4 is to automate processes where you have the opportunity. Again, I've mentioned repricers, so yeah, that's something. Doing shipments for you using a fulfillment or a prep center, yeah, that will help. Other processes that you do in your business that you feel like probably should automate some of this. So you can start off small. You don't have to like say, okay, I'm going to automate, 5 things today or this week or whatever. You can start off small and just tackle them one at a time incrementally over time, so that way you can make progress on that outsourcing. But not outsourcing, but automating. So automate where you have the opportunity. That way you spend a little bit less time doing things manually, and hire a VA to also help you with some of that. That'll buy back some of your time as well. Focus on some of your high value tasks, the things that are going to give you the biggest bang for the buck. And so this also means that sometimes there are things that take us more time to get done. And so we do have to outsource stuff. We do have to automate just so we can focus on those things that are time consuming. There may be aspects of a time consuming task that, you either hate, you want to avoid or whatever. But if you get it out the way, you can actually, help you to think clear on some of the other things. But the high value tasks are those things that are really going to change your bottom line, change your business, have the biggest impact on what's happening. So think about what you have to get done and definitely focus on those high value tasks, and where possible, automate, delegate, use technology for the rest of it. Okay, where possible. Number 6, use time blocking. Time blocking has not really ever failed me. I mean, sometimes the time that I allocate to something may take longer than I thought it was. So if I say, okay, this is like a 5-hour task, and it's like, okay, 10 hours later, it could be because I was tired. It could be because I'm doing stuff in a time or a window that's really not my most productive time of the day. Look, everybody has a most productive time of the day, whether you realize it or not. It could be when you first wake up, where you feel like, okay, I can get the most stuff done right now. Or it could be another time where you just feel like, okay, you have a lot of energy, you have a lot of focus, and you're really into whatever it is. If you try to do things in your least productive time of the day, it will literally take you double or triple the amount of time to do the same task in the most productive time of the day. So figure out what that is. But blocking time, setting aside an hour or 2 hours or 3 hours to do something. You may start off small and just use, do it at 30 minutes a pop. So just work on something for 30 minutes or 25 minutes and take a 5-minute break, which is the Pomodoro method. But consider setting some time to do something. I talk about time blocking all the time in our weekly planning sessions, where you block an hour to do this, then a block an hour to do that, so that way at the end of the day, if you're working in your e-commerce business, you're not spending all your time on any one specific thing, and you're dedicated to spreading out the activities, because there's multiple activities as a seller. So if you've never checked out the weekly planning session, go do that for sure. Number 7, isolate yourself. So I wanted to get into some technology in the isolate yourself. Sometimes you do need to isolate yourself. Sometimes you need to get away from your workspace and go work somewhere else. I know that I recently taken my son over to the library, so that way we can just have dedicated focused time to be out of our environment, to focus on a specific task that needed to get done, whatever that specific task is. Sometimes that's necessary. Sometimes shutting your door, sometimes letting your family know, look, I know that mommy's door is open or daddy's door is open, this all the time. But when mommy shuts her door, daddy shuts it, I got to focus. I need to focus on this task and get it done, whatever it happens to be, whatever it is. So isolating yourself, that also means isolating yourself when it comes to notifications on your phone, turning off your phone, closing your email, uh, all of those things, because we can get distracted very easily by emails that come in. We can get distracted very easily by notifications that pop up on our phones, you know, social media, whatever it happens to be. So isolate yourself and really isolate yourself. There are apps where you can block using different software. Um, so you can block using your social media apps for a period of time so you don't get sucked into the scrolling vortex. This also, again, if one of your things that you are really challenged with is just focusing, like just starting, because the starting is sometimes the hardest part. So using apps to help you to reduce your distraction level is going to be good for you. So consider doing that, turning off the phone, taking the TV out of your room, whatever it happens to be, putting the phone in the other room, like just somewhere else if you don't want to turn it off. Uh, but yeah, use different techniques and strategies to help you to isolate yourself so you really can focus on those things. And again, think about those high value tasks. So putting together a schedule that's going to help you to do the things that are going to make the most impact or get rid of the distraction things either first or last is always good as well. So checking your emails maybe after you've done, income producing activities for the first 2 hours of the day, then check your email for 30 minutes and just keeping it to 30 minutes and not 2 hours of scrolling through emails. Like just hit the things that are most important and that are going to affect your bottom line or affect your day or affect your progress on something else that's coming up. And then the rest of that stuff can just wait. Okay. So isolate yourself, whatever that means to you. I've given you a couple of different ways to think about it, a couple of different ways to tackle it. But definitely figure out how you can get that focus time that you need. Number 8 is to take care of yourself. Get some rest. Definitely get some sleep. That's been one of my biggest challenges this entire e-commerce journey and also just being a mom. Like even before I was a mom, I was a project manager and I used to do implementations and I just would stay up and just work through the night and I would get up early. So getting up early was one of my things, but I would not get as much sleep. So I would literally leave the office, no joking, when I was doing implementations as a project manager. I would leave the office at like 9 o'clock at night and sometimes 10 o'clock and then get home, walk my dog and eat something and then go to bed and then turn around and get up and be one of the first people in the office. So it was just a cycle. And, having kids is I've not 100% broken that cycle. There are times when I'm better at it than others, but take care of yourself because now all of that is catching up with a sister for real though. And so you need to get a regular routine established around going to bed. And you need to have a regular routine around what you eat. One of the things I do, well, I feel like is that we do meal prepping so that way I'm not grazing on bad stuff all day. But I'm not getting as much movement. So again, working on building that routine into building a routine it's going to be something you can stick with. So take care of yourself. Make sure that you're doing the things that are going to keep you healthy and that's going to help you to be able to focus better. Not getting enough sleep is not going to help you to be able to focus better. You're going to get up early and you're just going to be tired, and that's not going to help you to be able to think clearly. Not eating well and eating things that are going to make you tired or exhausted, not drinking enough water or getting enough liquids. Like these things matter. So do things to take care of yourself. Okay. Um, Number 9, be flexible and be patient. Look, when you're working to establish a new routine, a new schedule, a new process into your life and into your business, there's going to be some level of just the implementation process of establishing a new routine. Everything about your subconscious mind, everything about what you've been doing is going to fight this new process that you're trying to implement, that you're trying to execute. That's just a fact. It's going to try and fight it. As part of this journey, it's going to try and help you do the exact opposite of what you're trying to get done, the exact opposite of what you're trying to do. The exact opposite. It's going to find all types of obstacles to throw in your way. And so it's going to do everything you can to impede your progress on establishing this routine. I'm just going to try and encourage you to stick with it. Take it one baby step at a time, tackle one thing at a time, so that way, over time, this new routine becomes a habit. The consistency is going to be the key of being able to overcome those obstacles that are just really setting you back. So be patient with yourself, be patient with the process, be flexible. Don't beat yourself up when you're not able to keep the routine every single day, but really work on what are the things that are impacting you from being able to do that. And so there was a couple of sessions that we've talked about already. We talked about, making decisions and how to intentional decisions in your business. And this would be one of those where you're like, okay, I'm going to be intentional. Let me find all the obstacles that are impacting me. But that's another session. So go back and listen to that. And hopefully that will help you as you are working on regaining control of your time. Listen to my voice. That was bad. My voice went away for just a second. So anyway, I hope this is helpful. Go back and listen to this series and use it to help you, because this is National Business Plan Month. This is a great time to establish your plans and your routines for 2023. I do invite you all to register for the upcoming 2023 annual planning session and use it to help you on your journey. And we're also having a live event, so that if you can come to Dallas-Fort Worth area on January the 6th, we will be going through a day's worth of activities so that you are more prepared for the new year and you've got a routine established. So definitely register for that as well. All right. So with that, I do invite you to turn up the dial on your business, get laser focused, get ready for 2023. Grab the eCom planner. You can go to myecomplanner.com to grab it right now. It's the ultimate e-commerce planner. It was created for sellers by sellers. So you can get that today by going to myecomplanner.com. In addition to that, you can schedule a free coaching session by going to ecomsellers.com, clicking on free resources and scheduling a free 20-minute coaching session. There, feel free. We're happy to help you on your e-commerce journey. And if you need some support on your journey, join eCom Sellers Academy. It's terribly affordable. It's created, for sellers to be successful. So you can join eCom Sellers Academy. It's $17.99 a month. If you sign up for the lifetime, you get a free e-commerce planner. So definitely go sign up for eCom Sellers Academy at ecomsellersacademy.com. Get some support, get some free lists every single week. Now we're going to go through the daily ecom planning checklist. So if you didn't go download it now. It's in the e-commerce planning Facebook group. You can click on the files section and download it. Afterwards, if you want to continue the conversation about your business, where you are on this journey, you can definitely join us on Clubhouse. All you need to do is install the app if you don't have it. And then once you do, join the eCom Sellers Club so that we can continue the conversation. We can talk about whatever you want to do. You want to talk about sourcing, if you want to talk about product research, you want to talk about listings, you want to talk about your sales so far for Q4 and what you want to do to try and get more sales, or what's happening with your business. We can talk about whatever e-commerce method that you're engaged in. So definitely join the conversation over there. So now we're going to go through the daily ecom planning checklist, and this checklist is designed to help you to make progress incrementally every single day in your business, and to also help you to organize and make progress in whatever it is that you have going on in your life. So there's 3 components to this. The first thing is that, before we get into the components, is that everything about the daily ecom planning activities are about helping you to be intentional and also be consistent in your business. That is key. Consistency will help you build the habits and help you establish the routines that you might be struggling with right now. So there's 3 components. That's what you do the night before, what you do this morning, and what you do in advance. There's going to be some advanced planning we're going to talk about. So the night before, what I encourage you to do is that before the day is over, kind of rate your day, assess your day. How did it go? Did things get done? Was there a lot that you didn't get done? Did you build a really good plan or checklist for the day? Or do you feel like, okay, I really overdid it. I had 20 things on the list. I got 3 done. I just feel like a failure. So don't do that. We're going to celebrate the things you did get done. We're going to learn from the things you didn't get done. There may be things you move to next week. There may be things you move to tomorrow. There may be things you move to next month. We'll just see, depending on what it was that you had on your agenda. The thing that I will say is that, when we build out the daily schedule, we don't just build it for our business, we build it for our life, because we do get 24 hours in the day. And of that 24 hours, what are we doing with that time? We're awake, hopefully 16 to 18 of those hours. And so what are you doing with that 16 to 18 of those hours? You're not working in your business the entire time. I mean, during Q4, you might be working, instead of working 4 hours a day, you might be working 8, or you might be working 6. But as the most part, like, you're not working 16 hours in your business. There are some people that might be, but that's all they're doing. But the reality is, it's a mixture of other things that are happening in your life as well. And so we don't want to lose sight of those priorities and those important things that need to get done there as well. So assess your day, see how it's going, and what did you get done, what did you not get done. Next thing is that we want you to update your daily tracking stats. This is the number of listings you created, the sales you got. There's a long list that's inside of the daily ecom planning, the ecom planner. So if you didn't get a My Ecom Planner, go get it. And so in there, we have a bunch of activities that we sort of track. Then number 3 is to look at your online calendar for tomorrow. What are the things that are coming up in your online calendar? Doctor's appointments, dentist appointments, reminders, things that are going to pop up, things for your job. Like, go through and kind of look at that, so you're not surprised and caught off guard tomorrow morning and you're rushing around going, oh my God, I forgot I got to take the kids to the dentist at 1 o'clock, but I also have a business meeting at 1 o'clock. Like, yeah. Okay. So kind of look at your day so you can start the process of reorganizing tomorrow. And then the next thing is to build out your schedule for tomorrow. Everything that you have going on, including the things that incorporated, from your family, your personal life, your pets, whatever it happens to be. Incorporate as much as possible into what is it you have to do in a day. Now, here's the deal. Some of you may have well established, very efficient and effective routines already in place. And that's fantastic. So building out the things you need to get done tomorrow may be a short list for you. It might be your top 5, your top 3, maybe your top 10. Those of you that are challenged with just regaining control of your time, yours is probably going to be more involved, because one of the things that you're challenged with is really managing your time. So if you're challenged with managing your time, definitely build it out for the day so that you can account for where you're wasting or investing time. And that way, hopefully over time, you'll be able to regain control of where your time is being spent. So figure out which way works for you, which method is going to work for you. If you are already extremely organized, very efficient, and you just need to hit those top 5, then fine. Build out a schedule that just incorporates the top 5. And maybe you have a top 5 for your family or your personal life and top 5 for your business, and that's it. Works perfectly. So the next is what you're going to do today, this morning, right now. The first thing is to reassess yesterday. Make sure we didn't miss anything. Make sure that we incorporate things that maybe, because at the end of the day we were tired and we missed them. So we just want to make sure we include those. That way we'll learn from this. We'll maybe see the patterns that we're not really paying attention to, and patterns in our routines. Maybe there's something you're doing the second week of every month that you just never noticed until you started filling in the blanks. So build out a schedule so that you can, reassess your schedule and incorporate anything that you miss, so that way you have an opportunity to learn from, okay, I'm building too aggressive of a schedule, and that's the reason why I'm not getting stuff done. Number 2 is to review your weekly priorities and your weekly habits. This is the second full week in December. So what's on the agenda? What were the priorities for this week? And what are the habits that you're tracking and the habits you're working to build? Number 3, what's on your monthly plan for December? This is actually the last month of the quarter as well. So you're in the closeout period of Q4. So what was your agenda for Q4, and what's your agenda for December? What are those goals? What are those plans? What are the things you want to get done? Where are you on that journey? Are you making progress towards it? Are you going to be way off? So assess where you are. Number 4 is to review your schedule that you built. What's the one thing, if nothing else goes right today, that you need to get done no matter what? What are some of the other things that are maybe personal in nature or business in nature that you have on your agenda for today. Maybe you need to make some adjustments based on the fact that you didn't think of something last night when you wrote it. So go through and rewrite your schedule, read it out loud, and then speak it into existence. We're ready to go. We're ready to rock and roll. The great thing about building your schedule before you go to bed, your subconscious mind works on your schedule. And sometimes things pop up in the morning that you didn't think about when you wrote it last night. That's because your subconscious mind has been out there problem solving like a jigsaw puzzle, removing pieces and putting new pieces in place, or like a massive game of Tetris while you're sleeping. So it's moving stuff around so that when you wake up in the morning, you're like, oh yeah, I forgot. It's like, that's because your subconscious mind was working on it. So now your conscious mind is like, oh yeah, I do have to do that. So rewrite your schedule if you need to, make adjustments to it, tweak it, and then let's do it. Number 5 is to just draft tomorrow's schedule. Just draft. Doesn't have to be detailed. Now, if you're doing the weekly planning sessions, these are probably already done. So you're just reviewing them and you're making adjustments if you need to, or you're just ready to rock and roll. If you participate in the weekly, those 2 steps are very, very fast. So last but not least, think about things that are going to be disruptions to this routine that you're working to establish, the schedule that you're working to be consistent about. Okay. What are those things that are going to be disruptions, interruptions that are going to impact your ability to maintain or sustain this new life that you're trying to build, this new efficiency level that you're trying to get to, things that you're trying to resolve? I will tell you, at the end of the year, this is when we go back and we look at what has happened throughout the entire year, just being honest. And it's ironic and sometimes funny and also frustrating how when we first start on the journey, like at the beginning of the year, we're all gung-ho, we're focused, we're consistent. And somewhere in the middle, we fall off our horses. We get our train off the tracks and we are no longer consistent. And by the end of the year, it's like, well, I know I started that routine, but why did I stop it? What happened? What was the thing that interfered? Well, I'm confident it probably had something to do with a routine that was interrupted, a process that was not well planned for. And so your goal is to really start thinking about those things that when you start, January, February, you're going really hard and you're making progress and you're being consistent. Somewhere in March, you start to fall off. April, and then by May, you're no longer doing it. And let's not make that happen for 2023. Let's work on sustaining it the entire year. And the best way to do that is to always be thinking about what are those obstacles that cause us to stop so we don't have to restart. What are those obstacles that stop us every single time? So I want you to think about now, what are those obstacles that are going to impact you in the rest of this week or next week that you need to be thinking about that are going to impact your ability to sustain this routine that you're working to establish? Do something about that. Do some advanced planning. Do a couple of things early. Maybe create listings in advance, because we know listings are a requirement in order for us to make money in this e-commerce journey. So maybe you create a couple of draft listings in advance because next week your relatives are coming in. You're going to have to get on the road and go see them. You got to go pick somebody up at the airport. And that's during your normal work schedule. So what are those things that are going to impact your ability to sustain momentum in your business? Figure out what adjustments you need to make and do something about it now. So I hope this is helpful. I hope you use this on your e-commerce journey. I hope you share this out with a friend. Let somebody else know about the daily ecom planning sessions, and come back tomorrow as we go through this. We're going to be talking about some time management techniques. So with that, if you haven't grabbed the My Ecom Planner, definitely go do that today. And I hope that you have an amazingly blessed, extremely focused, and highly productive day. We're going to continue the conversation over on Clubhouse. So you can go join Clubhouse right now and let's talk about your business. And with that, we're going to say goodbye for now. Bye, y'all.